Abortion is wrong. Abortion isn't like any other issue debated today. Millions of American women have aborted a child, and the pain, loss, and emotional need to justify what was done, both on the part of the mother and on the part of her loved ones. Roe v. Wade was made in the Supreme Court. Made it to the Supreme Court. It took place in 1973, and as a result, the Supreme Court ruled it as a 72 decision that women's right to have an abortion was protected by the privacy rights granted by the 14th Amendment of the United States Constitution, and also setting guidelines on and defining what is and isn't legal, with the most common law being that it is legal to have an abortion after the first trimester of a pregnancy. Roe v. Wade also sparked a massive debate that continues to this day. On one side, supporters of Roe v. Wade are often called pro-choice or pro-life, meaning it should be the woman's choice on whether or not she should have an abortion or not. Opponents of Roe v. Wade are called pro-life. They argue that because life begins at conception, any abortion should be regarded as murder.
Statement, even under the guise of science, about common conditions of society in which the exploiting character is to be absent, that sounds to my ears as if they promise to invent a mode of life which should refrain from all organic functions. Exploitation does not belong to a depraved or imperfect and primitive society. It belongs to a nature of living beings as primary organic function. It is a consequence of intrinsic will to power, which is precisely the will to live.
Alright, selective abortion. This type of abortion happens when the parents find out that the child has a serious disability and/or gender. According to some articles, some families from either Asian and/or Indian descent choose to abort female fetuses in order to get a boy. As a result of this practice, countries like India and China have a more drastic women and men ratio. In China, by the end of this year, there will be around 34 million more men than women.
Mental illness and self-harm. Mental illness and self-harm are just too many negative effects abortions can have on women. Some of the other effects are depression, anxiety, which then can lead eating disorders and suicidal thoughts and feelings. Even if women don't experience severe side effects like those, they might experience things such as relationship problems, loss of self-confidence, anger, shame, and sense of loneliness. Murder according to the law. According to the U.S. government, the Federal Unborn Victims of Violence Act was enacted to protect unborn children from assault and murder. It states that under the federal law, anybody intentionally killing or attempting to kill unborn child should be punished for intentionally killing or attempting to kill a human being. The act also states that the unborn child is a member of species Homo sapiens.
Abortion is also considered as murder. According to science, science states that 20 days after conception, the child starts developing the foundation of a brain, spinal cord, enter the nerve system. Therefore, the child is already starting to form. At about 21 days, the child's heart begins to beat in regular patterns until it smooths out. Rhythmic beats a week later. Some might argue that when it comes to science, the baby is a part of the mother, so it's the mother's choice. However, it is proven that in just a single month, the baby had already developed the beginning of its body. Therefore, it's an individual person.
Conflict with the U.S. Declaration of Independence. Abortion goes against the unalienable rights to live recognized by the Founding Fathers. It states in the United States Declaration of Independence that all men are created equally. They are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights. That among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. When this quote states that all men are created equal and have certain rights, the right to live is one of them. Therefore, having an abortion would be going against one of the biggest things the Founding Fathers included when envisioning the future of America.
The Hippocratic Oath is an oath traditionally taken by doctors when swearing to practice medicine ethically. In the original oath, abortion is forbidden, as seen in the classical quote stating, I will not give a woman a pessary to cause an abortion. Although the modern version doesn't say it word for word, it states, above all, I must not play at God, which then still effectively forbids abortion. This plays an important role in why abortion is bad, because it literally says that doctors are forbidden to give women anything to cause the abortion, and doing otherwise would be seen as unethical medical practice.
According to Guttmacher Institution, that's not even institution.
Oh my fuck!
According to Guttmacher Institute, 45% of all women having abortion every year have had at least one previous abortion, and 8.6% of abortion reported in 2014 were had by women who had 3 or more previous abortions. That means women are using abortion as a contraceptive method. A contraceptive method is a deliberate use of artificial methods of other techniques to prevent a pregnancy. This means that women are acting like abortion isn't a big deal and isn't harmful to themselves or new human life. Women are starting to use abortion as birth control and is not healthy.
Defying the word of God. Many things are stated in the Bible having to do with both a living being God created in the womb and that people should not kill others. For starters, the Bible doesn't show a separation between fetuses and babies. Therefore, when an unborn child is in the womb, he or she is seen as an already born baby in God's eyes. Also, the Bible uses the Greek word brephos when referring to both an unborn child and an infant. There are many different scriptures in the Bible to support the fact that a baby in the womb is in fact a living creation of God. For instance, Jeremiah 1 verse 5 states that, before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee, and before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee. This quote shows that God recognizes thee in the belly as a living being, and by getting an abortion, you would be killing a living person. For one, killing someone is considered murder by law, but the Bible also states, thou shalt not kill. Therefore, abortion is completely against the word of God himself.
According to AmericanPregnancy.org, abortions can lead to a bundle of health complications that can be detrimental to the person that carries out the procedure and can lead to painful short-term side effects such as abdominal pain, cramping, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and bleeding. Long-term side effects are the worst and obviously the most hazardous warning signs to stare off abortions. They include heavy bleeding, sepsis, damage to the cervix, which basically helps with smooth flow of pregnancy, false smelling discharge, back and abdominal pain, and unfortunately, death. Abortion is a hard decision to make and think about. You have the life of an infant in your hands. You have the power of life and death over this human being. The child is innocent and doesn't understand that it might lose its life. Many people fail to see the child for what they are, people who might change the world tomorrow. Giving life is better than taking it. Abortion is wrong, and if you love everything that is sacred, it must stop.